manufactured food and drink products contain high levels of sugar, which causes many health problems. Sugary products should be made more expensive to encourage people to consume less sugar. Do you agree or disagree? Let me put this on the board so that you can see. So I will write this essay from beginning to the end, and that will be the end of the class. So, but if you were with me on Monday, you will be able to understand that this is the second part of what I started on Monday. So, many manufactured food and drink products contain sugary products should be made more expensive to encourage people to consume less sugar. Do you agree or disagree? So this topic is missing something. There should be therefore here. Therefore, so this is a typical opinion essay. Typical opinion essay. How do I know it? For my part 1 class, this icon tells you that it was an opinion essay. So what do? I told you that you have 3 sessions you plan, you write, and you edit. You have 40 minutes, use like 5 minutes for this, like 15 minutes for this, like use like 20 minutes for this, making 25. 25, okay. Let's say you, because of time and typing, use 25 minutes here, then use 10 minutes here. And if you recall too, I gave you a system of paragraphing in which I say you could go by 4664. 4664. So that means like your paragraph 1 should have like 4 sentences or 3 sentences. Your paragraph 2, which is the main body, 6. The second one, 6. And the last one, 4. But this is an opinion essay that I said typically has 5 paragraphs. So under my planning stage, my intro, I have body 1, body 2. Here we have body 3 because it is opinion, and then there's conclusion, right? So your intro, so I said body 1 should have at least, let's say, 5 to 6 sentences. This 5 to 6, if possible. This is a short one. This may have like 2 sentences. Then this should have like 4 sentences. Your introduction to should have like 3 to 4 sentences, if possible. This is my planning stage. It is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is 5 paragraphs because it's opinion essay. So this is the planning stage, 5 minutes. So under my planning stage, what I want to do is to write out my points. So if I want to agree that, okay, many modern food products contain high levels of sugar, which causes this. Therefore, sugar products. Okay, is it sugar products? Sugary products should be made more expensive to encourage people to consume less sugar. Good. So do I agree with that? So when I am at this stage, I want to read, I want to understand first, then I want to interpret it in my mind before applying. So at your planning stage, you read fast, you read slowly, you take it in bit by bit, you chew it, you regurgitate it, you chew it again, so that you will get the full blown, the panoramic view of the topic. You want to understand all the intricate aspects of the topic. Okay, which this, so this. So you see, this is a keyword. This is a keyword to consume less sugar. So you want to understand the key areas. You want to understand what the topic covers in your mind. That's your understanding. I've read. Now I'm trying to digest it. So in digesting now, you now come to interpretation. You now interpret it to yourself in the way you understand. Because when you interpret it, you'll be able to write your introduction very well. Because I will tell you the structure of the introduction now. But if you have not understood, it will be difficult for you to what? Interpret. So when you have understood this very well and you have interpreted it in your mind, to now write the introduction will be easy, because the introduction is just an like a summary or like a prelude to what your essay will be about. But you need to understand very well. So in understand, okay, you take it slowly in your mind. Interpretation now means that you hone it. That's interpretation. You hone your version of the topic, because you are going to start your essay by writing your version of the topic. But before you own something, you must have understood it. So in interpretation, you hone your version. You try to tell yourself what that means, what that topic means to your heart, before you now write application. So all of this thing happens in your mind at the planning stage. And at this stage too, you want to also jot your point. J. You want to jot your point at this stage. So okay, so if they say they agree, they disagree. Okay, if I want to agree that okay, indeed though, sugary products are doing harms. So it should be made more expensive so that people will consume less sugar. So if I'm agreeing with that, why? What's the reason for that? Okay, therefore, it should be made more expensive to encourage people to consume less sugar. Why? What's the reason for that? Anybody? What's the reason for that? Okay. Do you agree? So, if I agree now, and they ask me the reasons why I agree. So the reason why I agree now is because I feel that there's a high rate or there's a high incidence of what? Diabetics. Okay, so that's the reason why I agree, Abby. Okay, that's the reason why she agrees. Okay, now what am I doing now? I am trying to just oppose my point with the logicality of the topic. Hence, you would think you have a point, and your point is not really in line with the argument. So that point she has given me now, the issue of high incidence of diabetes, I am really trying to think it in my head. Okay, is it a reason why I am agreeing that those products should be what? Made more expensive? Though you may not go into the medical field of it. Some people, just like people have argued that that it's not eating enough food that leads to ulcer. Have you ever seen people say that before? That no. People say if you don't eat food, you have ulcer. No, that it's not actually that leads to ulcer. That there's something else. So also you might see some people saying no, that if you could burn the sugar, that probably may not lead to diabetes. So you may not want to go into the biochemical, molecular, medical part of it. So you may want to just address it as a layman. So you may just want to just address it as a lay person now. Okay, she's arguing that she's saying that there's high incidence of diabetes, but now you may now see, you may not want to also implicate yourself by saying maybe type 1, type 2. Shall just pick it as that. Don't go into the into too much intricate part of it. Just say, okay, in your own view, you feel consumption of high sugar leads to that. Okay, so that's one. So is there any other reason aside from the high incidence of diabetes why why this product should be made expensive? An average sugar consumer are from the okay is low. Okay, so she feels that an average sugar consumer are people from the lower class status of the society. That you have bulk of sugar consumption coming from people who are at the lowest level of economy. Like it's from people who are even struggling to live. So you have them consuming sugar more. I want to believe that is true to some extent. Yeah, because I think if you have enough money to buy honey, you will consume sugar less. Okay, sugary stuff, buns, all of those things. Okay, activities. Also, and you feel that it is the average person on the road that buy the junks. Okay, okay. So now everybody has entitlement to their opinion. And so once she can argue that out, that's good. So is that now reason to now make life tougher for the poor people? Are you saying so they should now make life tougher for them? Mm. Alternative. Okay, good. So just uh give your points and defend your points, the right arguments. That's how it goes. So good. So you want to put your point and your point, so at least you have them already as a scheme, such that you will be able to look at your point over and over. Firstly, check, is this point not a repetition of these points? Are they mutually exclusive? And these 2 points, do they really argue my points? Do you understand it? And so that is very important. So, but I think an essay like this now, if they say agree, disagree, don't always have the default option of going with agreeing, because agreeing is coming first. You know, if I say yes or no, because yes is coming first, we want to say yes. So I think if we disagree, you may have more points here. What do you think? So let's flip it off. So if we are disagreeing, what's the reason for disagreeing? Making it more expensive.
Regardless of the making it more expensive will not discourage the individual from
Okay, because making it more expensive is not enough a deterrent to the consumers of it. So that is one. So another reason.
taking, and also taking sugar is not
Okay, may not just be the sole reason for the health challenges. So another reason. What is it? Ah, no, ensure that your point, like why it should not be made expensive. Why should it not be made expensive? And like, let your points work with this. Why should it not be made expensive? Because answer it like with your points. Let your point answer it. Why should it not be made expensive? Okay, because people should have the choice to eat, to consume what they want. So that's a right of choice, because of right of choice. Like, do you see how I was able to acclimatize your point to this argument now? So when you put because, it should not be, because we are now disagreeing now. So it should be not, Abi. It should not be made expensive because people should have a right of choice. So now, what have we learned now? Sometimes if you hear agree, disagree, don't always go with the default of what? Agreeing. Because you may not even have what enough points for the agreeing. But if you go for what? Disagree. Like now we have almost 4 points, like 3 points. Then I may also want to chip in that it may make life difficult to the people at the lower stratum of living, because most of the things that are affordable outside there are sugary products. Talk about the pap that's made by the aboki on the road. Talk about the tea made by the mullah. But like this. Talk about the kunu. Talk about zobo. Talk about all of those things. People get to consume them because they had sugar, enough sugar to eat. So we have about 4 points. So I want to go with disagree here. So how do you approach your paragraphing? Your paragraph 1 introduction as this content, your general statement. Then it has essay, topic, paraphrase. Then it has your thesis statement, or let me call it your purpose. What the essay want to achieve. State what the essay want to achieve, and your purpose is an answer to your question. So you understand the question and you tell us as a promise statement, okay, this is what this essay will do. This essay will solve this problem. This essay will answer this question. Yeah. This essay will either agree, or this essay will oppose. This essay will disagree. This essay will support. So your thesis statement is an answer to the question raised by the essay. Do you understand that? Is that clear to us? So, and then you want to now have a concluding statement. The most important part of this is these 2 and 3. A, and D. This and this are not as important as these 2 and 3. So if in your essay you are not able to do justice to these 2, I'm sorry, you will not be able to what? Have get the mark for task achievement. It will affect your mark for task achievement. Are you with me? Are you with me? So now for your body, you may want to start with a linker, then give your main point. Then after main point, give what? Give your supporting sentences. If possible, give 2 to 3 sentences to support it. Then give a case study or example. So then if you can conclude, write a concluding statement on it. Why? You want to ensure that you write up to five statements here. This 3, this 1, this 5. So for your body, for your conclusion rather, for the concluding paragraph, you want to iterate your stand. If you are agreeing or disagreeing, if you are opposing or anything, iterate your stand. Reiterate your stand here again. Restate it again. So then you want to state your, or summarize your main point, rather summarize it. Your main argument. Then if you can, then draw a what? A recommendation. A caveat on this recommendation. Recommendation should not be another point. Else you will forfeit your concluding paragraph. So in your concluding paragraph, don't start to now raise another point that you have not raised in the body. Did you get that? Don't raise another point. Is that okay? Good. So let's now. So this is the structure I'll be following now to write my own essay. Good. So agree or disagree. Encourage. Okay. So I will start with my introduction. The first thing in my introduction is what? General statement. First, general statement. General statement is my prelude to my topic. This is a topic. I want to ask myself, what is this topic about? So this topic is about different stuff. It's about health. It's about rights, human rights. It's about food. So if I want to make this topic to be about food now, I could write a general statement like saying, we are what we eat. Or there's a popular saying that says that what we become what we eat. Do you see that? I made it about food. Like, I want to make it about health. I'm starting by saying health is undoubtedly wealth, or health is the greatest possession of humankind. To live without it is to live a terrible life, or is to live in hell while on earth. So that's me using health. So if I want to see this topic as, let's say, it's about human rights, I'm start by saying humans have been made creatures of free will. Thus, they have liberty to make choices that either make or mar their life. I will now bring in the topic into it. Have you ever attended debate before in which there's a topic, but the contestant choose not to start with the topic? He or she choose to start with like a story or an inference or a quotable quote before now going to the topic. That's what the general statement is about. So general statement is just like a sentence, but don't now make it a story like a debate. No, just make it a short sentence. So I might want to use food now. I may say food has a profound impact on our overall well-being. Semicolon. We are what we eat. Comma rather. So as I'm writing this, I will also be teaching us some stuffs. That's the reason why I said in height you need to be intentional if you want to have 7 and above in writing, because there are several issues that can bring somebody down inside this writing. What's that? No, don't worry. So there are several issues that can bring somebody down inside this writing. Several issues. Now, I intentionally made some mistake here. So who can point out those mistakes for me? Aside from this one. Hmm? Okay, it should be what? Okay. So is there any word like this? Is there any word like ART? There's a word like ART and there's a word like PACT too. The two look like the same, but they are different. One is a verb, or one shows reveals transmission of knowledge or transmission of a virtue. That one is this. This is impart. But the one that is a noun is impacts. One has a stress here. One has a stress here. So the one I want to use has a stress here. Impact. This is the noun. I said I want to impact knowledge. That one is what? PART. On our overall well-being. This should be what? Semicolon, not comma. So that means if you want to understand writing, you should also go and revise your understanding about what? Punctuations. And read what? How to make compound sentence, how to make complex sentences, if I were you. What I have here now is a what? Is a compound sentence. Because this is an independent clause. This is also what? An independent clause. Joined by what? A semicolon. You should know when you use semicolon, when you use comma. Comma is used for making complex sentences. So go and read complex sentences. Go and read about comma splices before your exam. What are comma splices? Several incidences of wrong use of comma. It's called comma splices, and many people make mistake of comma splices in their exam. What I just did was comma splice for me to have used comma, because comma does not separate two independent clause. Comma separates a dependent and an independent. Comma splice, SPLICE. So this is tenacity. So the next thing is that what? I go where? To the topic. I will rephrase the topic. You read, you understand, you interpret, you apply. So that interpretation is where you hone it. You have a deep view of what the topic is about. So you can now always paste it down in your own word. I mean, my natural food drinks contain this, a bit. This. So I cannot see how I can write this in my own expression. Is that okay? How do I write this in my own expression now? So I go back to do what? To now understand this and put it down. Thus, what's this thus? Is having a linking words. Is I would say therefore, I would say for this reason. I would say in lieu of this, in light of this, in view of this. Sure, you get it. Or I may just go on. So I may still use thus. Thus, it has been observed that what? Many food products and consumables have what? Great amount of what? Of sugar. These has been implicated. Let me not use scientific word. It has been observed that many food products and consumables have great amounts of sugar, leading to what? To myriads of what? Health challenges. Do you see how I am phrasing it in my own expression? It is for this reason that, or I may say, it is just so it is suggested, therefore it is suggested, or it is for this reason that, do you see that government, or it, or so it is suggested that this, so just try to understand what is happening here. I already have it in my mind. I don't need to be looking at this and to be copying it. I already know, okay, they want to now increase. It is for this. It is for this reason that making the prices of such products unaffordable, abi, might be a way to discourage people from their consumption. Just me just rephrasing. I may want to just make this by saying, so people have the opinion that, I will not bring it, that making the price of such products unaffordable or expensive might be a way to discourage people from their consumption. So what's the next thing now? Purpose. In my opinion, now if they ask you to what extent, I will say I totally disagree. But since it's not, so now this thing could be, to what extent do you agree or disagree? Or it could be, do you agree or disagree? So if they say to what extent do you agree, then I say I totally oppose this view. But since they just said, do you agree? So I may not want to show the extent. But if they ask you to what extent, then show the extent by using an adverb. In my opinion, so I'm just saying, in my opinion, I feel this is not needful. Or probably, in my opinion, I oppose this this solution. I oppose the solution that is brought forward, or that is brought forward, or I oppose this. I oppose the solution that is suggested, because it cannot truly deter individuals from sugar consumption. Concluding sentence. In the next paragraphs, do you see the paragraphs now? I will succinctly expatiate on my point of view. Did you see that? Did you see that? That's my conclusion. How many sentences do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least, if you cannot write 5, write at least 4. Why? Because you have a goalpost, 250 words. It must not be less. So, you have to be fast so that I can put body 1, then body 2. Body 1, body 2. Learn to type with your 2 hands, even if it's phone or probably tablet or anything, with your 2 hands. Let me clear so that it will be easier for me to write. So this is your introduction that I am cleaning off. So next thing is to go to our body 1. So body 1 now. So I will say firstly, this is dry. Let me use this. Firstly, comma. I will say to start with, because I want to give 2 points. Point 1, point 2. To start with. To start with. What's the first point? There should be freedom of choice. Should I use that? So, or should I say, your point was what? To disagree now. I could say firstly, consumption of sugar is not just the only factor that contributes to what to health breakdown. Do you get that? Firstly, consumption of sugar has been highly exaggerated. Now, if while writing the exam, this spelling, is it correct? Now, if you're writing your essay and you are not sure or the spelling of anything comes or jumps off your mind, at that point, the best thing you should do is to just skip that word and use something else. So I may come and say what has been poorly represented or has been misrepresented has been misrepresented as as a major cause of health breakdown in humans. Did you see? You need to work smart. So this is my point. I'm saying no. It's not just about sugar alone. This is because now, this is my main point. Then I will now give 2 or 3 supporting sentences to corroborate it. This is because health issue can arise a bit from other factors aside consumption. Now, I've used consumption before in the previous sentence, so I will not use what consumption alone again. Aside what? This because health issues can arise from other factors aside eating sugary stuffs. Environment. Let me move S from it. Lifestyle. Personal hygiene. Hereditary. Hereditary or heredity. Which one? Is there heredity? Is there hereditary or heredity? Is there any word like heredity? Is there? Is there hereditary? Which one do you have? So here, let's use hereditary here. What is hereditary? Is it a noun or a verb or an adverb or an adjective? Did you see where we are going now? Everything I've been mentioning, are they noun, verb, adverb, adjective? They are what? Everything I've been mentioning are verbs. Are they verbs? They are what? It's none now. Environment, lifestyle, personal hygiene. So this should be a noun. So is this a noun or an adjective? Does hereditary stand alone? Like, do you have things like hereditary something? Most like it's hereditary something, Abi. So and I say hereditary traits or hereditary condition. So let me just use genetics. Did you get that? Did you see all the intricacies of writing now? And what's not? Thus, it is wrong and short-sighted to make sugar product expensive because of the health of the masses. Knowing fully well that it's just a pinch of salt. Or I may say it's just a drop in out of the ocean of public health challenges. It may not be a drop, but I am trying to argue my point out. Sure, you get it. So that's me arguing my point. So I've used like two sentences, and the sentences are long, 1, 2, 3. So I want to draw a case study. For instance, Ghana is a country in West Africa, is known for what? For low sugar what? Consumption. Hope you know that. Do you know that? If you go to Ghana today, the coke in Ghana is not as sugary as our coke. Do you know that? Do we know that?
I know they have a
Control abi system for their sugary stuff. My wife was there and she told me that. So let me just pick that one out. So, but of course, I know that they kind of also eat sugar too. But let me just use the one for Ghana is a country in West Africa is known for low sugar. For okay, let me not say low sugar content for low sugar content drinks. Let me just say their drinks. Low sugar content drinks. Yet the people do come down, abi, with various what health challenges, including what, diabetes. There 5 minus 1, therefore, it is what, it may, it is pointless and baseless. Therefore, it is pointless to make sugar products expensive. From expend, that is what, that is where you have a syllable. Sif. Do you see? For the second point now, so I'll just say secondly, right? Secondly, please be fast. Secondly, do you see? I am using block what, paragraphing. So in my exam, I will leave a space, I will leave a line here, and then start from the margin. Block paragraphing. I will leave a line between this, and then start from the margin. Block paragraph. Secondly, making sugary products. Will I use expensive again? No, I'll use it here. Unaffordable. May lead to massive inflation, abi, and ultimate suffering for the innocent masses. That's my point, right? I made it clear, straight and direct, without perambulating. You must not forget that when you give your linker, make your point straight and direct. Make it known straight and direct. Before now, we're building on it. Make your point known straight and direct. See my point. I am using long expressions. What's the next I will do? Majority of the people in developing countries survive on what? On cheap food products day after day. Cheap food products day after day. These goods include junks. What have you again? Biscuits, sweets. What is it? Candy, chocolate, and so on. To make these products expensive is to snuff life out of people who may not have enough to get alternative products. You know, say more so, people should have right to choose. That's another point. Just stick on this point. This point is about economy. So don't chip another point here. Do you get that? Do we get that? It's also important to note that many 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 of household consumables have what? Have sugar as their content. This thus inflation may hit the economy if such step is taken. You see that? So I want to cite a case study here too, if you want to. If you have a case study, like you may just say, to drive this point home, then you may draw a case study to corroborate this issue. But if you don't have any case study, it's good. At least you have already started one in the first paragraph, in the first body paragraph. So if you have one, keep it. If you don't have one, just leave it there. So, but at least don't have your two body paragraph without case study. There should be one. So case study is just to just develop your argument. So if you have good one, keep it in. So instead of case study, let me just do a concluding sentence here. Government should therefore look for should therefore let the sleeping dog lies. Now, take note. Is it lies correct? So it should be what? The what? Did what? Dogs lie. So is this lie? This lie too, is it correct? LYE. That one is lake. So is it, so if I'm lying down in bed, lie. You see where issues come now. So this lie is looking like falsehood, Abi. So, but it could also mean to lie down, like the verb. Have you seen it? Like it could also mean lie down. I want to lie down, LIE. So, but there's also lay too. So there's but it could also mean this. So then I will now go to my third body paragraph. Here I want to strike what? A balance. So, however, discouraging sugary products is a step in the right what direction, as too much of what anything is what is bad. In this paragraph, what I'm trying to do is that I am coming in as a master painter or master artist, trying to paint a chiaroscuro, a dark and light perspective of my view. That yeah, I've said they should not affect sugary products, but then looking at it holistically, discouraging sugary products is a step in the right direction, as too much of anything is bad. This can be achieved through other means, without what necessarily what increasing the prices of the product. That's balance. That's all. I'll now come to what my conclusion. In conclusion, to recapitulate, I want to use less common expression. In conclusion, or finally, you restate your point again. I oppose the idea that increasing the prices of sugary products will indeed make people's health better. You see how I summarize it. I oppose the idea that increasing the prices of sugary products will indeed make people's health better, because as there are what? There are a plethora of other health of other factors, abi, that may affect individuals' well-being. More so, inflation can be invited with such actions. So I may just stop there. So recapitulate, I oppose the idea that increasing the prices of sugary products will indeed make people's health better, as there are a plethora of other factors that may affect individuals' well-being, full stop. More so, inflation can be invited with such action. So please confirm if there's L here in the plethora. There's no L there, and so that's good. So if there's no, so like if I were in the exam conditional and I'm not sure that plethora, I would just remove it and just use probably areas, or say there are a lot. So let me not use other again. Let me not say plethora of factors, because plethora already means many. The plethora of factors that may affect individuals' well-being. More so. So then these individuals, since I've been using plural, let me use this one. More so, inflation can be invited with such action. So this is me recapitulating and summarizing everything for us. If you want to write discussion, essay 2, problem solution essay, advantages and advantages essay, and the next question essay, it still goes in the line, the same pattern. Your introduction, your body 1, body 2, and conclusion. The same way to build it sentences by sentences, and you'll be able to read 250 words. If you count this now, you should have written more than 250 words. How many words altogether? No. How come 1000? Okay, like 1000 for the essay. Let me check it very well. It should still be maybe around that. It should still be around that 350, 400, 500. And that 350, 400, 500. So you may copy it and paste it on a Word doc. It will bring out the sentence that has been written so far. So thank you. See you.